So where did this leave us? Well, what we've done is we've had a nice critical reflection on particularly morphological development. We've looked at the way the muscle adapts, both in terms of its architecture, but also in relation to things like hormones and the way the hormones drive that adaptation. And we reflected on that in relation to things like peak height velocity and peak mass velocity. We've looked at biological changes, we've looked at height, we've looked at mass, but we've addressed those hormonally, but also we've looked at those metabolically. We've considered, for example, about glycolysis and understood that glycolysis, our proxy indicator is lactate, but the glycolytic response is actually dampened, particularly in children, in relation to testosterone concentration. And then we thought about, well, how do these all relate to the child athlete? Well, fundamentally, it's that understanding that in children, you get these changes in the biology of the child at different rates. And understanding that different bimotor abilities will prosper at different phases of the child's development. And understanding that means that we can start to think about the way we train the child differently to the way in which we train the adult. The adult doesn't have that. The adult has already got all of those at their kind of optimal level, or necessarily on some of those on decline. But in the child that they are developing, and recognizing that, particularly the one about coordination and understanding the way in which we train things like technique, and the way in which that is related to myelination, particularly, and the coordination of the synergists and the antagonists, really does lend itself to thinking about training children differently to the way in which we train adults.